Hi, this is Roger Moore, and you're listening to James Bond Radio.
If you were to choose an all-time iconic Bond location, I would say you'd be hard-pushed to beat the Crocodile Farm, man. Ross Kananga's Crocodile Farm, and you got to go there as well, didn't you?
Oh, that was one of my favorite spots in the entire trip. It might have been the best because it's the most interactive. And it's called Jamaica Swamp Safari Village. And it's a massive crocodile farm. And it looks exactly like it did in the film. In fact,
David.
Some of the people who work there knew Ross Kananga. They worked at the Safari Village when they shot the film there. I got to talk to them. You go up to the gift shop or the entrance, and right inside the ticket taker where she sells you the ticket is a framed portrait of Ross Kananga standing next to Roger Moore as they were filming it.
Whoa.
And man, Kananga was such a badass. This dude in the shot, he's got a cowboy hat on. He's got his shirt wide open, a bone necklace, sideburns down to his chin. He's carrying a pistol in his belt. He looks like Crocodile Dundee's cooler brother. He's such a badass. And Roger Moore, who's usually the coolest person in any photograph, is staring at Ross Kananga like, dude, you've got it going on. Like he looks
nice. I think it's one of those things, isn't it, man? Like when you think about it, the Live and Let Die book, there is no Kananga. It's just Mr. Big, isn't it? And then obviously the taken off of the face and all the rest of it was invented for the film. And to have a guy come along like that, and then they name him, they name the lead villain after him. He must have been a badass, man. Because I've heard stories about him being like quite a, I don't know if flamboyant's the right word, but like just a really out there kind of character that everybody loved. And to have a Bond villain named after you, man, you had to have had an effect on the makers of the film there for sure.
I think he definitely, you feel his presence when you're there. A bunch of the drug lab that Bond burns down, they've changed. They built that drug lab for the film, and then they actually burned it down in the movie. And then the Ross Kananga and his people rebuilt it so that tourists who come there who want to experience Live and Let Die's location can see it. And they've told us that over the years it's burned down several times and they keep rebuilding it. But they've renamed it the Ross Kananga something or other. You see his name everywhere. Yeah. I asked one of the workers there, this guy Donald, what Kananga was like. And he got so choked up when he was telling me. He said, he was more than a father to me, Donald told me. And he said he was the most generous man he had ever met, the bravest man he had ever met. You can tell this guy is a larger than life figure, and he still means something to everybody who works at this place. The coolest part of the whole trip, though, of that alligator farm was when Donald looked at me and he said, "Do you want to go to the island where they stranded Roger Moore?"
I mean, Jesus. Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So they no longer have that retractable bridge that Teehee kind of walked them out on. Instead, they built a permanent structure. But it was fenced in on either side because there are so many crocodiles in that area.
Yeah.
So Donald walks me all the way down this long path. And then he unlocks a gate and he goes out onto James Bond Island, they call it. And it's that little disc area where Roger Moore was stranded. And I was about to follow Donald out onto the disc. And that was the only time he got really stern and he put up his hand like, no. And I was like, oh, am I not supposed to go there? And I realized it's because there are crocodiles everywhere. As he's talking to me, he takes a piece of chicken out of his pocket. I didn't see any of the crocodiles here, but he takes a piece of chicken and he's talking to me, and then he tosses it over his shoulder, and this log or thing that I thought was a log turns out it's a crocodile, and it leaps out, eats the chicken. I leapt back. Donald doesn't blink an eye. He's so used to dealing with these animals. It was one of the best parts of the entire trip was standing right at James Bond Island and seeing these live crocodiles.
That was like a Teehee moment for you right there and then, you know? Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, good God, man.
They show, when you go there, they in that little drug lab area, they have a video playing constantly of scenes from Live and Let Die that were shot there, behind the scenes images of Ross Kananga. So you feel it everywhere. There's posters of Live and Let Die around there. As you're walking through the park, they're playing the theme song to it.
Yeah.
So they lean into Live and Let Die.
That's a beautiful thing. I love it when they do that, when they really embrace this stuff. It's not just somewhere you show up and it's just like, oh, that's where it was over there. And there's no real reference to anything. But I love it, man, when they go deep like that. That's amazing. That's so cool. And it's lovely to hear those guys that were there when the film was being made as well, and remember Kananga and all the rest of it. That's lovely. So you were going to say something, Dan?
Yeah, that great scene in Live and Let Die where they're driving Roger Moore to the crocodile farm. Remember, there's a big one that walks across a path, a big crocodile, and kind of falls into the water on the other side. You walk right down that path. The layout of the place hasn't changed a second. That little area where he steals a speedboat and launches into the speedboat chase, that's still right where you expect it to be. Everything is laid out there. It's awesome.
That's amazing, man. Do they still have the trespassers will be eaten sign?
Yeah, that's still right up there.
That's what you want. Beautiful. Oh, mate, I am green with envy today. That's amazing.
And the access they give you is so great. I mean, they'll take you, if you go there, ask them to go out onto James Bond Island. Definitely talk to these people. They'll be more than happy to accommodate you. They know why Bond fans are there. In fact, when you first pull up to Jamaica Swamp Safari, there's a sign on the side of the road right in front of the place that says, Live and Let Die, locations from the James Bond classic. So they know people are coming here to both see crocodiles and to see Bond, a great Bond location.
Nice. Sweet. All right, cool. I love that. I love it when they embrace it, man. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, if you enjoyed that, make sure you click up here to watch the full episode, or you can click down here to watch another one of our episodes. And lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe for more Bond-related content from us here at James Bond Radio.